Welcome along. It's the end of the line for one of these teams in this season's Asian Champions League. Yokohama F Marinos have the advantage as they host the second leg of their round of 16 match with Shanghai Port at the International Stadium. Temperature is dropping. It's down to 11 degrees Celsius and the rain is beginning to pour down. It's 1-0 to the Japanese side from the first meeting last week. Anderson Lopez headed the only goal in China. That meant that they'd beaten Shanghai Port in back-to-back fixtures. And these sides met on the final match day of the league phase, which was another win for Yokohama F Marinos with goals from Unaka and Amano. But the travelling contingent has made the journey 1,700 kilometres over the East China Sea with the expectation of seeing their side come back into this one. Plastic rain mats and ponchos are out. The home supporters, perhaps peaking too early, have been in terrific voice since long before the game has got underway. The Marinos finished top of the league phase in the East, ultimately with 6 wins from 7 games, although it wasn't always that straightforward. Pictures from downstairs as the visiting players are ready for action. Shanghai Port finished 8th in the league phase, just 2 wins, but it was enough to see them through. And Yokohama's domestic form in Japan suggests that a comeback is definitely possible. The champions of China, they were led there by Jiang Guantai. Should be a fascinating contest. There's real interest, of course, in Kevin Muscat. He was a former Australian international, and then he had great success, took over from Ange Postecoglou as the manager of Yokohama F Marinos and was the champion of the J-League. Left and is now the manager of Shanghai Port, who are the Chinese champions. He's a hugely successful manager. And he knows, obviously, Yokohama F Marinos, not that the players are that similar from his squad, but obviously he's kept a close eye and they know each other exceptionally well, these two teams, if nothing else because of meeting last week and then at the last phase of the group stage. Unaka, who scored in last season's finalists. Yes, Yokohama were the beaten finalists the last time around. But they will not want us dwelling on their league form. Form has seen a change of coach. The man in charge of them is an Englishman in Steve Holland, who is having his first experience as a senior coach. He's the main man at the age of 54. And it's been a tricky start for him domestically. They really are struggling in the J-League. They're in the relegation places. Admittedly, only a few games into the season, but they haven't won a game yet, which is obviously concerning for Steve Holland and for the club hierarchy and everyone connected with them. He pointed out their inconsistency. As a team, last season they conceded 62 goals in the J-League. And they finished 9th, only the bottom 3 had a worse defensive record. You can see the rain there, can't you? Highlighted as most of the stadium lights are out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chiefs of Yokohama F Marinos and Shanghai Port FC.
Now the players are about to be called out onto the playing surface. Here we go, the match officials lead out the two sets of players. Yokohama F Marinos in the blue, Shanghai Port in red. 1 goal between them. Kevin Muscat in his pre-match interview described it as half-time in the contest. Fair point. Gloves are on for Jason Quiñones, the Colombian. And for Nagato, long sleeves and gloves, the Japanese fullback. Anthem's done. Home support in fine voice. Steve Holland. The big responsibility. Kevin Muscat, former coach here. Controversial character, notorious character as a football player, but a successful coach. A friend of Ange Postecoglou, from whom he took over as the Yokohama F Marinos coach. Carried on their success, had more of it really. Unsurprisingly, Steve Holland doesn't change an awful lot. Matsubara, who played right back last week, and Ryo Miyachi is in. Quiñones is a Colombian defender. Jean-Claude is a Togolese centre midfield player, very good player. Sandy Walsh is Indonesian, and the almost obligatory Brazilian Anderson Lopez scored the goal in the first game, and Jan Mateus. Attacking areas as well. Elbert on the bench as well. Anderson Lopez is the captain, and is Liang. The Shanghai Port, and the match officials are all from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including the 2 VAR officials. So again, perhaps unsurprisingly, Muscat makes more changes, 4 from the first game. For Juan, who's the left back, went off early, injured in that game, so it's no surprise that he is out. The players coming in are Wei Zhen, Wang Jianao, Li Shuai, which might imply that, well, as the graphics showed you there, that they might be switching to play with a back 3 and wing backs. And Josep, the number 22, is a defensive midfield player. Another Brazilian, one of the 4 Brazilians, Leonardo, Gustavo and Vital, are in attacking areas for them. Vital is the newer of the Brazilians. Leonardo got 22 goals last season, Gustavo 21. They are the champions of China, and at the start of the season they top of the Chinese Super League with 2 wins from 2. So there is it's almost inexplicable, the difference in domestic form and continental form for both clubs, and the opposite way round. Yeah, big responsibility. Muscat wants his team on the front foot, wants them to be in control. They have a deficit to overturn. Now Saudi officials are ready to go. And it is Shanghai Port to get us underway. just immediately drops back in. I imagine that's just a tactical thing to get him on the ball. The Brazilian returning to the side today, and Yokohama in the blue. There is an early energetic press coming from Shanghai Port. Muscat's a more considered figure as a coach than he did as a player. You can imagine that he's an uncompromising character. This is Jean-Claude, Togolese midfield player, looks a terrific young player. Yokohama F Marinos were Asian champions back in 1992. That was before Shanghai Port was formed as a club. I make it a closer contest to call than their form in the Asian Champions League Elite stage so far. The league stage where Shanghai Port disappointed, sneaked through with just a couple of wins. The Marinos, almost inexplicable again how their campaign went. They started with a 7-3 defeat and then started winning and didn't stop, and they're on the attack again. An early goal! What a start! Tono! And inside the second minute of the game, they've doubled their advantage from the first match. Well, Shanghai Port were determined to get on the ball, to play from deep. They were dispossessed, and how quickly they were punished. CHN was the player who gave the ball away. A couple of passes later, Onaka had fed Tono, the two number 10s for Yokohama F Marinos. What a blow. Just the second minute of the game. Is there a complaint? I wonder if they are just checking about the challenge. It looked fine to me, it looks fine to the VAR. Tono's goal stands. What was that I was saying about Shanghai Port having a good opportunity to turn this round? And what was it that Kevin Muscat was saying before the game about getting on the front foot? Well, he was determined that his players get on the ball. Very often when a modern manager talks about getting on the front foot, they are determined that their players will take gambles with possession and try and dominate the game in that respect, not necessarily territorially by getting it forward. And they paid the price. Body language from Steve Holland. Long time number 2 as the England national team assistant manager with Gareth Southgate, and he did a lot of the work. He was much criticised at times over a lack of tactical nous in the England setup, but they did a terrific job in Southgate. He did the coaching sessions, delivered the training. He's worked with such an array of some of the best coaches in the game. He's worked with 5 UEFA Champions League winning coaches as an assistant. He is in Asia as a number 1. Started pretty well. It was a vital interception. Yokohama F Marinos have the opportunity now of hitting on the counter. Kevin Muscat trying to show us his skills. 12 red cards as a player. Genuinely scandalous player, not for off-field behaviour, for literally the way that he played the game. Uncompromising. I think he's underselling it. Yaichi, the throw-in. Quinones goes back to Park Hyuk-ji. To Sandy Walsh, who's the left-sided of the 2 centre-backs, an Indonesia international. went up in the air, but second contact was made by a Marinos player. Here's Vital, most recently arrived for the Brazilians. It's not a bad ball delivered there. When Janao was getting forward from what will confirm to be a right wing-back position shortly, perhaps. Vital was on the bench for Cruzeiro in last year's Copa Sudamerica final, which is the second tier. By Liang against Anderson Lopez. Now a little scrap in midfield. Jussa takes it on. Oh, indeed, they're looking to transition, as we say now, counter-attack very quickly. The referee does well, plays it on. Jan Mateus carried it forward. He gets back on the ball again. Some tigerish tackling from the Shanghai Port players. Wanaka. Goal scorer Tono under some pressure, but he accepts the ball again, then is dispossessed. Also Shanghai Port not afraid to attack quickly. Leonardo. Whistles from the home supporters, and the carved gap through the middle for Vital. Excellent movement, just couldn't get a clean shot away. Credit to Barkelju for coming out quickly. Vision by Jussa, he saw the gap. Not cleanly dealt with by the keeper, but dealt with. Vital's corner is taken short, then whipped into the near post. Jan Mateus on the break. Maybe a blue shirt working hard to get alongside him. Went for Unaka. Maybe just squared it for either Unaka or Anderson Lopez. Lopez does get to this ball now. Captain Golden Boot winner last year. That's despite them finishing in a really an awful league position for the size of their club and their recent achievements. Finished second, first, ninth. They're worse than that now. They're in the relegation zone. Anderson Lopez, though, on the ball into the penalty area. And then the long-range shot, the save, and then the follow-up strikes against the post. It was Tono again. He was offside, but Yamane wasn't when he had his effort that was saved. It was well hit. Whether Jan Ling could have perhaps used his feet better and made a more comfortable save. Tono was offside. Nicely done by Jean-Claude again. Tono. Back to the Togolese midfield player. Jan Mateus, a bit of Brazilian flair. Miyachi trying to deliver the ball. He has just come in to play right back, so it's a like-for-like change, the one change that Steve Holland has made. Neither of these sides played domestically at the weekend, so there's nothing to be gained or lost. Both had a week to reflect, prepare and recover. Quinones, Miyachi, forward to Jan Mateus, who's being hounded all the way by Li Shuai. Lamar. You watch Yokohama F Marinos in the Asian competition and you wonder why they've been so bad in Japanese football. Last season, the start of this. Haven't won a game yet. 3 home games drawn, 1 lost away. They're onside and attacking again with Unaka. So he rushed it there. And Lopez was labouring to get alongside him. Vital back to Gustavo. Gustavo loses out. Unaka. Yachi's ball forward. And a quick ball round the corner from Jan Mateos, but Unaka, he wasn't actually in a position to chase it down. Misplaced pass by Mateus Jussa. Gato, 5 different thoughts going through his head as he prepared to take the throw in. This stage of the game, you get away with it. 70 minutes from now, you'd be getting a yellow card. Have another throw in. And Mateos rubs a knee after being caught by Li Shuai. Concerned by a sign of swelling on Mateos, but he doesn't want to miss 30 seconds of action, so stays on. And Jean-Claude makes the forward run again. Waiting for the verdict. Waiting for the verdict. Corner. Yamane moves it on again to Tono and dicks it in to the middle. Well defended by Wejen, the right back. Vital, it's a long way back. Jussa. Wins a throw. That's right. They find a little bit of space. Leonardo moves it on, and it was dangerously across the face. Gustavo was the target, but he couldn't get on the end of it. Just wonder whether he could have been moving earlier. There's no offside. Sort of moves, makes a big move towards Wang Zhao. Really room then to get the ball into the penalty area. Xu Jin goes hunting the ball down. And Yunlin, the best of clearances, a hugely experienced international goalkeeper. Runs away from Lopez and is turned back by Zhang Guantai. Zhang Guantai is English born in Liverpool. Played in England as Tyus Browning and then moved to China. He became a Chinese international. His gran was Chinese. There's a foul by Zhang on Anderson Lopez. Oh, foul the other way. Sorry, Anderson Lopez backing in, I guess. Whereas Zhen, the right centre back. Yang Yunlin goes long, calmly played by Quinones. Quinones goes back to the goalkeeper again. A little test there for Park. Challenge in the midfield by Xijin. Vital goes back to Jusha. Zhen listens to get forward, the centre-back, right-sided centre-back. Aggressively dealt with by Miyachi. And a chance to break forward, and good pace by Jan Mateus. Zhang didn't fancy coming across and committing himself. First touch wasn't good enough really, and Liang came in, but they win it back again quickly. Nagato, Wanaka. Was tripped, and the referee, he played that really well there, the ref. He's had a look to see where Togolese player went after he'd been fouled, and it was only a couple of seconds later to give the free kick. Slightly careless touch there, he sort of got away with that then, Jean-Claude, and now Gustavo, a little heavy-legged. No particular reason why it would be. They've had the weekend off. Got a couple of goals in the Chinese Super League already this season. They're only 2 games in. They're top. Terrific play and a break forward by Tonov to find Unaka. Similarity in playing styles between the two teams. Muscat played the majority of his career. Heavy touch there again by Park. Muscat played the majority of his career in British football, played for Rangers, never in an Old Firm game. Crystal Palace, Wolves, Millwall. Vital has dropped deep just to get on the ball. Literally just short of bodies in attacking areas. Shanghai Port, if that's potentially an oversimplification, is Xijin. Just goes wide, where Li Shuai does get forward. Hasn't really been able to do that. He's done well though. He wants to cross it. The outside of his left boot. Technical failing really by Wei Zhen. He's on the ball again. Opportunity to do better. Gustavo's the target. His header down is a decent one, and then he was in the way as Leonardo struck it. He looks to the heavens. An apology from one Brazilian to the other. He'd done really well initially, Gustavo. He found Leonardo, set up the shot. Couldn't have done a better job if he was a defender. Roughly 60-40 possession the way of the Japanese side. Last champions, and their manager was Kevin Muscat. Here's Vital. Li Shuai working hard to get forward. Yachai is the player with the sliding block. Li Shuai. See how long his throw is. Not particularly. Away by Jean-Claude. And Jussa back in. Slightly late challenge. The referee happy with it. Jussa was quick on the ball again. Zhu Jin finds Vital. Shot forced the save from Park Il-gui. It would be very disappointed to let that through. Steve Holland's voice, you might be, as if you're English speaking, rung out to you there. Pressure, pressure, get out, push up. As they push up, of course, it leaves the gap over the top, but they pushed up well because Li Shuai was offside. Steve Holland has only been in the job since the turn of the year. John Hutchinson taken over from Harry Kewell in the middle of the last campaign. Wasn't able to arrest the slide in league form, but after that embarrassment of a performance on the first match day, all of the results that in the end stood. They won, so they ended up with a record of 6 wins and 1 defeat. A couple of 3 thumping wins, 4-0 against Ulsan and Central Coast, 5-0 against Buriram. So barring the game with Shandong, it was erased from the records. They didn't concede a goal and they won them all after the embarrassment of the first day when they conceded 7. Explain all of that. On the back foot again. Leonardo's overhit his pass. Looking for the overlapping run of Wang Zhenao. Jiang got up well to win the header. Jan Mateus collects it. It's a drift inside when he plays on the right side. Miyaji given away, no fouls. Little indication from the referee for the Shanghai Port player to get up. She spread the ball out wide with that big switch without really checking. Though it was over there in the left back position, but hadn't got forward. Gustavo's chest down, collected by Shushin. Wang Xiao. And Vital. Li Shuai. His teammates gave up on it. It wasn't the worst cross. It wasn't the perfect trajectory, but it was still in a position that was worth attacking. Doing his defensive duties there, the central midfield player. Yusuf. To Wang Zhenao. Leonardo. Blocked by Quinones. Just tries to put it back in again. The Mane's header wasn't the best, and then an optimistic shot by Shishin. Interesting hearing Kevin Muscat talk about working in a foreign language. Refers to the translators, made the point that they're translators, not interpreters, but he does say that you lose the emotional connection. There are times when working through another party might have its advantages. Shanghai Port have been champions 3 times, all relatively recently, 2018 and the last 2. Jean-Claude is driving forward again. Anderson Lopez with a chance, dinked it over the goalkeeper and in. And that is lethal. What a counter-attack. Wonderful play by the young Togolese midfielder. And then Anderson Lopez gave it the finish it deserved. So this was the controversial bit. 2 players in each other's way in the midfield, really, rather than a foul. Jean-Claude drove forward and he slipped it into the narrowest of gaps. And Anderson Lopez beat the goalkeeper. And it just nestled inside that post. Now there is a mountain to climb for Shanghai Port. Eighth goal in the competition this season for Anderson Lopez. The key is to not despair, still arguing, again, wanting the VAR to step in. Anderson Lopez dismisses it. I'm just waiting. He wants a reprieve. I want to break. Brazilians who are leading the protest. Steve Holland wants the game to get back underway again with the goal standing. It's there on the graphic at the moment, there on the scoreboard. And the referee points to the centre spot and says, get on with the game. It is 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. There's an hour to play. CHN. Leonardo. Yamane is fouled. Bit of aggression worked out, I think, by Leonardo. Switched out wide again towards Li Shuai. Yusuf to Vital. Do with a bit of Brazilian magic in this situation. Shanghai Port. Li Shuai puts it into the penalty area. Happy to hit on the break now. Miyachi. And then Anderson Lopez was pulled as he broke away. Terrific recovery, challenged by Liang. Home supporters are in terrific voice, aren't they? But to be fair to them, they often are. And they're in worse situations than this. Every misplaced pass by the opposition being cheered. So Lopez, a bit of flair, letting it run, but turns them round, but he's confident. It was taken behind, wasn't it, by Quinones? So a corner now for the Chinese champions. Taken by Mateus Vital, Brazil under-23 international. Here's the corner, and it's whipped on, and it's bundled in, and it stands. Well, it was Leonardo who touched it just before it crossed the line. Liang won the first contact. Game on. Terrific delivery. And he is onside, isn't it? It's flicked on by the captain, Liang. And he just has to be absolutely certain that it's only chest from Leonardo, but I think he's okay. There was no arm. This is what the VAR will have to now determine. I think that arm stays down. And I think his broad chest is enough. Check complete, goal given. Concerning there for Yokohama F Marinos is that Shanghai Port made both contacts. Leonardo, so prolific last season, he's got one. In fact, he hasn't scored in this competition, he's got one this season. 22 last. Vital chasing this one down. Marinos, who gave away that corner slightly carelessly. They mustn't panic. Still lead by 3-1 on aggregate, 2-1 on the night. Steve Holland said the target was to win the game on the night, rather than obviously playing for a draw and using the cushion that they came into this game with. Jean-Claude driving forward again. Cross came Jean Bontai. On a lovely touch by Anderson, Lopez the rim again, Uranaka denied. I wanted Brazilian flair, we got it there, didn't we, from the Yokohama F Marinos captain. Lovely little touch with the inside of his boot. Nunes. Yamane. Naka was caught, the referee says play on, there is a big gap there. They tried to break through it again, it's over the goalkeeper, what a finish! Tono again! Well, there have been times in this game that Yokohama have simply smashed their foot down on the accelerator and had too much for their opponents. Credit to the referee as well for his part in letting it play on. Dio Tono sprinted into the gap, but it's all about the finish after that. He lifts it brilliantly. No chance for the keeper. And after conceding from the corner, that is the perfect response. That will calm a few nerves on that Yokohama bench. What a game Tono is having. Checking the goal. Sure what? I mean, obviously they checked them all, but it's definitely onside because he runs from deep. If anything, the foul, well, there very much was a foul the other way. Bit of tension. Oh no, he's going to have a... No, offside. So no, take it back. Sure he was on, but no, fair enough. VAR plays a big part in games, doesn't it? Changes the whole vibe of a game. You're starting to feel there. I'm tempted to say might be a killer blow for Shanghai Port, having fought their way back into it. Out it goes. Tono's beautiful finish, erased from the records. We'll try and forget it ever happened. And on the back foot again, Jijin saw the gap, tried to play it through. Jan Mateus goes down. I'm none the wiser. I'll have to see it again and figure out where the offside came. It wasn't Tono at the end. If it was Anderson Lopez was offside earlier in the move, perhaps. As Jan Mateus over the top looking for Unaka. Josep forward to Leonardo. Slightly petulant from the Brazilian. There's a bit of fire in the belly, doesn't he? The referee just to dampen that fire before the game resumes. It's in behind again, cuts it back for Leonardo. Gustavo to his countryman now. Wang Shenao. Zhang's touch wasn't the best. CHN does it really well. He wins a free kick out of Tono. Scorer of 1 goal. Very high defensive line. Very much in fashion. Move it short. Shushin puts it over the top, and it was won by Wei Shen. Gato to Jean-Claude. Need some added time at the end of this 45 minutes for the Vars, if nothing else. Super play again, Jean-Claude breaking forward. Anderson Lopez has just held back a little bit, and it's an opportunity here. Jan Mateus in on goal. That's in the back of the net. Now they have their third on the night. Jan Mateus calmly puts it away, but it's another lightning break. And once again, this young man at the heart of it, Jean-Claude breaking forward. And Sam Anderson Lopez didn't go piling in, but I can check the VAR for this again, just to check that Jan Mateus got out in time. The midfield running from a central midfield player in Jean-Claude has been devastating. Li Shuai went to try and cut the square ball out, and it was costly. A good view of the goal. Always wanted it on his left, of course, Jan Mateus. We're underway, safely underway from Yokohama F Marinos' point of view. 3-1 on the night. 4-1 overall. Ball was out of play, according to the assistant referee. We're playing 4 minutes of added time, or a minimum of 4 minutes of added time. We might need a little bit more. Not sure why he wanted to keep that ball in towards, let them have the corner rather than kick the ball to them in open play. Scored from their last corner. This one is a little undercooked. Down. So many players on the run. Sandy Walsh. Come on. For Jussa. Indication of an elbow used or an arm swung by the Brazilian. Vital wins the free kick. The changes that Shanghai Port made have not really paid off. Offside against Gustavo. They have to go back to the goalkeeper. That's a really aggressive press. Good energy at the end of the 45 minutes. Been a good performance by Yokohama F Marinos. They've had the chance to turn the ball over and punish their opponents. They've done so. 3 goals, 1 chalked off for a narrow offside. Again, aggressive defending by Quinones in a very good first half performance by Yokohama F Marinos. They came into it with a 1-goal lead after that man Anderson Lopez had scored in the first game. Tono put them 1 up on the night. Anderson Lopez got the second. Leonardo got one back from a corner in the 36th minute, but they struck late in the first half again. On the night, it is 3-1. On aggregate, it is 4-1. There is a mountain to climb for Shanghai Port in the second half, which is coming to you live shortly. So welcome back. Good first half for the men in blue, Yokohama F Marinos. They came into it with a 1-0 lead, Steve Holland's side, and they've extended that. 3-1 they lead tonight, making it 4-1 overall on aggregate. So Kevin Muscat's Shanghai Port side have a lot of work to do in this second half. We'll be delighted to see the back of Yokohama F Marinos at the end of this game. They played in the last game last week, and they played in the final group game before that. So, for example, Jason Quinones has played 3 Champions League ties, all against clubs from Shanghai. Kevin Muscat is managing more of a smile than he did back in the day. He's a notoriously aggressive player. He's been a successful coach, did a lot of the work in building up Yokohama F Marinos, won a title with them, the last man to do so. Harry Kewell then got into the final of this competition last season, last domestic season, which runs on a different calendar. It was an absolute mess. Hence Steve Holland's arrival. Referee is Khalid Al Tharais from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And as you've seen already, we've got a VAR team in place. Here we go for the second half. Yokohama F Marinos in the blue against the champions of China, the current leaders of China, Shanghai Port. There's an early shot, it's deflected. Straight behind. Wanaka. Steve Holland is hugely experienced in football, but not in Asian football, and not as a number 1. So it's a new challenge for him. And his side on the front foot again. Anderson Lopez tries to make himself room. Did have a run there from Tono, who we have seen finish superbly already this evening. It's chilly and the rain has not relented. And Mateos, who got the 3rd goal on the night with that little touch back. Walsh. It's back to the goalkeeper, Park Hyo-gyu. Back again to the Indonesian, Sandy Walsh. I wonder whether we might have seen changes from Muscat. He has resisted the temptation. No foul again. The referee tried to let play roll on where he's had the opportunity. Jusa to Wang Zhenao, China international. Free kick for the home side. Mateos Jusa was the only player booked in the first half. It wasn't his foul. I'm blaming it on him. It was Xu Xin. Protect yourself with an arm, but it can't go in the face of your opponent. So both of the central midfield players for Shanghai Port have been booked. Nagato fouled. Another foul. It was in that half-time team talk. We've had more fouls in the couple of minutes of the second half than in the whole of the first 45. CHN this time, the guilty party. Tana puts it into the penalty area again, just drifting away from the forward burst from the Brazilian man, Jan Mateus. They've taken a massive gamble and they've given it away inside their own penalty area. And the referee pulls it back for a pull by Anderson Lopez on his countryman, Mateus Giuseppe. But that was only at the end of that. There is a determination to take gambles in possession. The idea is it helps you dominate the game, that gets you through, but sometimes you see, I think they did it there, take a gamble playing through the first press and then play an insipid ball once you're into the midfield, and you think, well, what was the point in the gamble? Here's Gustavo. Anderson Lopez is powerful, but he loses out to Giuseppe. Janao got it back again. Jean-Claude, superb again. Jujin's pass ricocheted away from its intended target. Here's Dayotono. Aggressive play again from Jiang, but the right side of aggressive. Liverpool-born China international. He was with Everton as a youth player and played on loan as a senior pro in England, next of Sunderland and Preston. Feisty second half. Wanaka, the latest player to hear the admonishing ping of the referee's whistle. Vital. Now goes after the return pass, well defended though. Nagato away, just lifts it into midfield. Knows that there will be someone there competing for it. Wei Zhen has brought down Unaka. And it's just sent away. Wonder whether there might be another yellow card coming. It's a fair bit of premature shirt swapping going on. I'm not sure whether that tear in the sock is a result of the challenge or the new trend for holes in socks. Nunes to Yaiji. Just fires it wide. It's a terrific pass. Li Shuai, certainly a willing runner in that left wing back position. Whipped into the penalty area, first touch lifted it over the defender, but Leonardo frustrated. plays on the edge of frustration. Nicely worked, and Jan Mateos into space. Anderson Lopez sprinting ahead of him. Really could have gone on. It was well read by Zhang. Nagato. Tono just decided to whip it in first time. Nagato had carried on his run, and he nets it back on the edge of the penalty area. Yamane. And then Jan Mateos the shot when there wasn't really the room to get it through. Referee restarted with a drop ball because the ball came back off him. Given away by Jean Guantai. Gato to Runaka, helps it around the corner to Tono. They've worked this beautifully. Jean-Claude with the finish. Can't get it into the back of the net. Touch from the goalkeeper was crucial. I think it's a really good save. What about the football though from Yokohama F Marinos? Beautifully timed, beautifully weighted pass. Real credit goes to Zhang Yunling. Jan Mateos with the corner. Won by Zhang. Jean-Claude goes for goal, and it rattled against the post. And they're still in there, and it's in. No flag. Anderson Lopez has scored. What a performance by Yokohama F Marinos here. Well, he's hobbling away. They need to wrap him up in cotton wool. Jean-Claude, what a player in all aspects of midfield play. Look at the power in this. Smashes back off the post. And the captain had stayed in. Liang. Everybody else in red had got out. The captain was still in there. So Anderson Lopez could stay in there. That's the outcome. (4-1) on the night, 5-1 in the tie, as long as the VAR doesn't get involved. The Saudi referee just tells us to wait. What are we waiting for? It's definitely not offside against... I suppose, is the offside there? So he was offside at the initial shot. But there's another phase of play after that. Janot is off. Yeah, and the VAR check is complete. He went back in, Liang. So it was when the ball was subsequently played again. On the attack now, Shanghai Port. Had the original shot from Jean-Claude gone straight to Lopez in that offside position, obviously it would have been disallowed, but it came out and he was onside by the time it was played back to him. Fenjin is on. Referee goes in Shanghai Port's favour this time. Miyachi just arguing that it was 6 and 2 threes, same from both players, and said it's a free kick in an important position. The goal was from a set piece. They need something dramatic to happen. It wasn't dramatic. Now Leonardo. His cross is deflected. Was there a pull on the shirt of Gustavo? The VAR might want to have a look at this. He's exaggerated his fall, no question, but I think you're talking degrees of contact by the defender. Determined to play from deep under pressure, and it has worked for them. Here's Leonardo into the penalty area though for Shanghai Port. Liang. Patted down by Park Il-hyu. Got the ball back again. It's had a good game. Walsh to Nagato. Now a play. Gone very, very well indeed for the Japanese side. Now is the onside here. The flag stays down, we're going to say for now. And it doesn't matter. In fact, Benny wishes he had been flagged, because Wang Zhen's challenge has left its mark there on Anderson Lopez. This is the problem, of course, with the new way. They don't flag early in case they're wrong, fair enough, but then this is what can happen. And literally all that pain for nothing, because he was offside. To have taken a stud on the back of the leg and the Achilles kind of area. So there's another Brazilian ready in Elbet. A double change coming with Kota Watanabe. Affection there from Kevin Muscat, one of his old charges, a little bit. And this is a real blow. Jean-Claude going off. I want him fit and ready. Partly because they need their domestic campaign to get back on track, but also because they're probably going through into the quarter-final. The next stage, the games are played in one tournament-style competition in Jeddah. Quarter-finals, semi-finals, and then the final on the 4th of May, the King Abdullah Complex. So Elbert Watanabe on, Tono off. Quinones, how much height did he get on that? Put everything into it. Forward to the clouds, and down, and Shanghai Port on the attack. Li Shuai moves it around the corner. Liang, the centre-back, delivers that into the penalty area. Watanabe wins it. No, he doesn't win a free kick. Free. Again, consistent in his desire to let the game go on. Fenchin was the player who came in off the touchline. Now Justin drives through the middle. The ball over the top, and there was no one left to chase it. Elbow was very deep indeed. Nicely worked by Shanghai Port to Leonardo, puts it in, looking for Gustavo. Hasn't had the influence on the game that he would have wanted. Only one goal in the competition so far, Gustavo, for a man who went past 20 last season in his first year with Shanghai Port. Throw was just a bit too long, and wrestling didn't meet the referee's threshold. Uenaka, the man who was bundled over. Young is giving it away. Shirt pulling going on from Uenaka, who needs to be careful. Come a point at which the Yokohama players might start to think about the next round and not picking up yellows, certainly not reds. The round of 16 all played out over the course of a few days, then the draw, or the winners assemble in April. Free kick goes against Jason Quinones. The foul on Gustavo. He's been a solid presence though, the Colombian. Muscat's men have not been able to find a way past. Long-range shot by Wei Zhen. Sprint by Jacques to win the race, give it back to his goalkeeper. Muscat in his interviews is all about the process, not being driven by results. Make sure that you get everything right and stick with it in the long term. Results, major blows, obviously in football. And this will be a painful one. Watanabe. I felt that in the calf. Touched by Jan Mateos, but Quiñones did well. Yamane gives it back to the goalkeeper again. Vital to Leonardo. And Vital will take on the shot. Down by Park Hyo-ju. Still good energy levels from Shanghai Port as they're trying to close this ball down and allow their opponents just to stroll through the remaining 20 minutes. They have done well to play out here under some pressure, Yokohama F Marinos. Watanabe, the offside, I think, here against Anderson Lopez, but he goes on and pulls the trigger, and it will end up in the back of the net, and then we'll look and see. And Uenaka doesn't celebrate. So this is why they keep their flags down, just in case the assistant referee and I are both wrong. Showed his quality though, Anderson Lopez. I know he got the timing of his run wrong. And the finish was good. It forced the save from Jan that would have led to that man's poached effort. Gianamano is ready, scored in the 2-0 at the end of the league phase. Uenaka is coming off, he might be coming off with a goal, but I mean he's not. No goal confirmed. The man is a real veteran, signed in 2014. And the ball is in, and Gustavo has a chance and scores. Now then, is this the start of the most dramatic of comebacks? He's worked hard for opportunities. Now he's found the back of the net. It's 4-2 on the night, 5-2 the aggregate score. They work this well. He's offside, isn't he? I think the VAR will chalk this off, but we'll have to wait and see. Li Shui swung it in. Back to say that he was over-eager here, Gustavo. Yeah, well, watching him give thanks for the goal, and it wasn't a goal. He's offside again there. Got to work harder. I praised him for working hard, but you've got to get yourself back on side. Watanabe gets a ticking off. Well, they have another couple of rolls of the dice to come. They really needed that goal to stand, though. Gustavo to have stayed the right side of the line. Really tough as a substitute coming on now. This side needing 4 goals to force extra time. Again, getting in between 2 red shirts to win the header. Wei Zhen. Excellent switch pass out to Li Shui. So Yang is coming on, as is Li Xinjiang. Shushin is off, and Long Vital coming off as well. Vital wasn't able to have the influence that he would have wanted. Li Zhang is a teenage 19-year-old attacking player. Yang Xi Zhuan he actually played 1 minute of the season so far since the domestic season restarted, that is. He has got 6 appearances, now 7 in this 24-25 edition of the Champions League Elite. Header back to the goalkeeper, was well judged by Miyachi. Still working hard, still defending tigerishly, too much really there from Katsuya Nagato. But in that sort of space, it's fine, really. Won't get a yellow card, won't give away a dangerous free kick. Benjin to Jusha. It's ricocheted through and could be onside here. He decided to pull it back rather than go for goal. Li Xinjiang, the sub who was just on, the 19-year-old. And then a mistake leads to a break. And Anderson Lopez takes it on. One defender with him, goalkeeper to beat. Goalkeeper unbeaten this time. He handled well. Anderson Lopez always seems to get a shot away of some sort. You can argue it wasn't the best decision to release him at that point, because it meant that the defender Zhang could force him into a relatively tame area from which to try to score. Mano with the corner. High to the back post. Been allowed to run the way out again. Yamane. Quinones decided to hang around, get involved in the ball retention rather than just run back to defend. The pressure from Shanghai Port has forced Yokohama F Marinos back all the way to their own goalkeeper. Of course, the competition's been fascinating so far, but we've got the prospect next time round of East meeting West. The likes of Al Saad, Al Nasser. Through more games coming up today, tomorrow. It's an obvious notion that the Saudi teams will be strong. There's nothing written, nothing says they're irresistible. Late challenge, and indeed the referee's notebook will come out here for Amano. And a double change coming up. Hiroto Asada. And Kenta Inoue. Anderson Lopez. And his fellow Brazilian Jan Mateus. I think that tells you Steve Holland is confident. Job done. Anderson Lopez has been immense. In a sense, the good news is he's 31, which means that he's not sort of prime candidate to be tempted away. Muscat saying that when he was in Japan that it was still a cheap league, really, in terms of transfer fees for European clubs in particular to come tempt players away. We've seen that. Terrific Japanese players, big European leagues. Anderson Lopez, the top scorer in the Japanese league, the J-League last season, even though Yokohama F Marinos were really disappointing. Here's Li Xingjiang. He wins a free kick. Again, the referee just pausing briefly, and then he shows a yellow card as well to Ro Miaichi. Won the first one, didn't he? But then he showed too much of it to his opponent, brought him down, and then argued about it. Might have been that got him the yellow card. When they got the ball in the back of the net, it was 11 minutes ago. Well, it was ruled out for Gustavo being offside. At that point, he was just about willing to entertain a dramatic comeback. Liang, the captain, with the set piece, for the shot. Captain's prerogative. This one ricochets. Leonardo. Just sneak it in, got it up and over the wall very well. Another corner, whipped in towards the penalty spot. Quiñones away. And again, Albert working hard. It's the sort of thing that makes such a difference. That if he hadn't put that run in, Shanghai Port would have had possession and right now be on the attack. Instead, ball's at the other end of the pitch. Nicely worked. Quick spring forward here towards Li Xingjiang, and Miaichi not holding back in his challenge. He does need to be careful. This time that and he'd have been off. He's thrown himself into the tackle. He conceded the corner anyway. And here is the ball delivered into the penalty area, two-handed away by Park Yeoju. Collision in the middle. And it's Jason Quiñones. Taken out by Wei Zhen. Fenjin rolled in towards Leonardo, who's muscled out of it and goes down. Credit to Fenjin, he kept going. Leonardo's back on his feet. Wei Zhen. That was good defending. Important screen provided by Yang Xijuan. Still competitive. Credit to Kevin Muscat's team for the way that they've kept going. But they've just been second best. 3 consecutive games. The continental competition that they played against Yokohama F Marinos, they've lost them all. Aggregate score of 7-1, 5-1 in this tie, of course. 4-1 this evening. Free kick. The Chinese Super Cup to a couple of very late goals. Shanghai Port were winning, conceded 94th and 97th minutes. Not even that would turn this tie around in their favour. Liang's last effort was pretty good, but he crossed this one. Extra man in the wall. One behind it, still goes for goal. He's enjoying himself, isn't he? The burly Brazilian. Big strong man, but he's got an absolute touch of quality and a cool head when required. He got a couple. Chono got one. Bernardo for Shanghai Port and Jan Mateus. Some Brazilian goal scorers. Always, of course, all the Brazilians, all the foreigners in the Shanghai Port scored a Brazilian. There are 29 Brazilians in the Chinese Super League. If you're a regular watcher of this competition, you'll know that there are talented Brazilians, mainly attackers, everywhere. CHN. It's the feet of Gustavo. Yellow card coming out for Fenchin. I was praising it for staying competitive to the end. Slightly overdo it. Just has kept going. No foul. Could be another break on here. We're playing 5 minutes of added time. I question whether the supporters might have gone a bit early by being in full voice while the players were warming up before the game, but no. Terrific energy levels from the home support as well. And credit to the supporters who made the journey from Shanghai as well. Small group, obviously, but a long journey to see your team dismantled at crucial moments. They've had plenty of the ball. They've been a threat at times, but Yokohama F Marinos have been absolutely clinical a number of times. Liang. And lifted towards Gustavo's touch around the corner was pretty good. And then the long-range effort by Mateus Jussa. It's more in hope than in expectation. those Brazilians have not carried enough threats up front for Shanghai Port. Forward midfield in Jesus' case. More to reflect on for Kevin Muscat. They're already qualified for next season's competition because they're last year's Chinese Super League champions, so they will be back. We'll have to watch the business end of this year's competition on TV. Neatly done by Gustavo out towards Li Xingjiang. And then Leonardo has to shift it back to Li Shuai. Gustavo gets up. I think it was an attempt at goal by Li Xingjiang. The one final flourish in this season's competition from Shanghai Port. Liang, desperate to get themselves a goal. Kept in by Fenching. 5 in red if they can get the cross in. Yang Shijuan. Free kick. They don't put it into the box, they move it on. Fenching floats one in, defended at the near post by Walsh. It is all over, and Yokohama F Marinos, last season's defeated finalists, are moving on into the last 8 of this season's competition. They were clinical, they were ruthless, they were too good for Shanghai Port. They came with a 1-0 lead. Tono struck early, Anderson Lopez made it 2. Leonardo got one back from a corner, but Jan Mateos, perhaps crucially, right at the end of the first half, made it 3-1. Anderson Lopez, the excellent Brazilian, struck again to make it 4 on the night. Holland and Muscat share their reflections together, but it is Steve Holland's side who are going through to the quarter-finals, and there'll be a threat. No one will fancy playing against Yokohama F Marinos. They've got to repair their domestic form, while Shanghai Port will go and defend their Chinese title, trying to stay at the top of the league, but they've come up short in the continental competition, heavily defeated, unable to pull off a dramatic comeback. Kevin Muscat has to suck this one up. Disappointment back at his old club where he had so much joy, and he's obviously got so many old friends. Shanghai Port, well defeated. That man has done so much damage to them. What a player Anderson Lopez has been. A real show of respect between the two sets of players and coaches. Yokohama F Marinos have been too good though. They've won tonight by 4 goals to 1. They go through on aggregate by 5 goals to 1.